where are you going? And I said, I'm climbing Kilimanjaro on Monday. And she goes, I did this pre-COVID. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how was it to be on the summit? And she says to me, I got airlifted off at 5,000 meters. I'm like, what? Hi, I'm Sans.
And I'm Shira.
This is Gift of the Gab,
where we take contemporary issues and look at them through a giving lens.
So Shira, today I wanted to chat with you about something that's very close to my heart. And I know if I gave you 3 options, you'd probably get it first. Go.
Let me guess. Is it Kilimanjaro?
How did you know?
Given the fact that you wore the sweatshirt and the t-shirt for like 5 months afterwards.
Is it only 5 months?
every time you were out and about on a Sunday, you were wearing the Kili t-shirt. And it became a bit of a running joke, but in the best possible way.
So, I want to talk about that. And there's a reason why I want to talk about it. Because I feel that I learned a lot on the mountain.
Okay.
I really did learn a lot.
So tell me a bit about this Kili trip. What happened? What was the setup? What did you do? You climbed a mountain.
We climbed a mountain. It's the highest in Africa.
Okay.
And it's the highest freestanding mountain in the world.
What is freestanding?
Which means there's no mountain range. There is just Kili.
Really?
You land at the airport and you just see this monstrous mountain. Wow. It's absolutely gorgeous. Tanzania. We say Tanzania. I don't know. I think you say Tanzania. Yeah. So Tanzania is a beautiful country, absolutely stunning. And we got there and we land. We went to a hotel. We checked our kit. Woke up early. Next day we drove to the entrance of the gate, really, and then you start walking. 5 days up. And 1.5 down. We did rest on Shabbat.
Yeah.
It was one of the best things. All the guides told us that was just a game changer for us.
Amazing.
And the major thing is, it's I believe really after having done it, most people could do it if they decently fit. Don't even really need to be crazy fit, but it's all about will the oxygen up there affect you or not.
Right. And you just don't know that.
You do not know.
You can train as much as possible.
So the Thursday before, I made a call and I ordered the meat. Yeah. And I was talking to the woman. She said, where are you going? And I said, I'm climbing Kilimanjaro on Monday. And she goes, I did this pre-COVID. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how was it to be on the summit? And she says to me, I got airlifted off at 5,000 meters. I'm like, what are you talking? I was like, I started shaking.
I saw you on the phone. You went white.
I was like, I said, what do you mean? Didn't you argue with her? And she said, there's no arguing. You literally, I sat down, I couldn't move. And that was the end of it. So I said, and you got down? She said, as soon as I descended in the helicopter, I was already getting better. Wow. By the time I got to the hospital, I was fine. And she said, it just happens. And, so...
How many people did you go with?
We went with 26.
How many summited?
25. One guy chose on day 3 that he had enough. Day 4, should I say. He kind of went to the safari park for 2 days, which was pretty cool for him.
Like the hotel?
Like the hotel, he had I've done enough. I've done higher than I've ever wanted to go. I didn't really come to summit. I came for an experience, and I've had more than an experience, so I'm done now.
Wow.
So he would have 100% summited.
Wait, so if I come along, do I have the option of doing that too? Because then I'll come.
You will be leading the pack.
Okay, so I've got a question for you.
Okay.
You were on this mountain, and what was the ratio of guides to people that were climbing?
I think, what do you mean?
The Tanzanian.
Okay, so we had about 115.
What do I call them? Tanzanians?
Tanzanian porters. So we had about 115.
Porters of 26 people?
Yeah. So they help you carry, and that already, we pay them. But they do so much more than...
Is that almost 5 people per person?
Yeah. But so someone carries your bag, then they carry the tents, then they carry the mess tent, then there's cooks, there's guards that walk with you.
So I guess my question is, if you've got all these people doing these things for you constantly on the mountain, how did you not slip into the taking mode of just having someone do things for you all the time? Would you not become naturally a very taking
interesting
person?
Never thought of that, but No, because we were helping each other the whole time, and we needed to be with each other. We were walking together with a few guards. Some at night there are a lot more guards, and but they fly past you. It's so embarrassing. The guy's got 25 kilos or 20 kilos on his back, and he is cruising up this mountain at a pace, and you are just like with your sticks cruising,
huffing and puffing, and be like, I'm dying.
It's unbelievable. It's actually incredible. They are wonderful people.
What did you learn? What did you learn any lessons from them? Because I feel like it's a whole different culture. And
so our head guide is one of the most special human beings, and I had the weird privilege to walk down off the mountain with him, off the summit, and we spoke for about 4 hours. And he said to me, here in Tanzania, we are very poor. The general person is very poor, but we have a lot of love, connection, and friendship. And he said, but you guys in London, I know, I've been to London, you're much richer than us, but you're what we have, you're lacking.
Oh.
And you're always looking for the love, connection, and friendship. And I was like, I didn't really have an answer for him.
Wow.
It was very powerful, that. And it's so true. They are so loving. They are so friendly.
I saw the clips of you guys dancing.
Not even just the guards that, yes, we paid, but they just go way, way beyond anything. You ask them anything, they'll help you. But just the people in the street, we stopped in the markets, they are just so friendly. They say, and a few people said to me, we had a very eclectic group. We had, bankers, we had lawyers, we had young guys, we had, teacher, whatever it was. And there's one guy, quite well-to-do, he said to me, look at them, they're all so happy, they're all smiling. And I was like, it's incredible. He had never been to Africa before, and I did.
Is that an African mentality generally?
I think it is. There's a certain sense of it's okay. Things are tough there, tough, but there's a happiness, and they've got nothing.
And you believe that comes from the love, friendship, caring.
Yeah, they've got just a deep care for each other. They've got a different way of being. I learned a lot on the mountain.
Okay.
I really did learn a lot. And I think when we all went there, we had a mission. And everyone had their own mission to get their reason why they were going to go summit Kili. And it was very individual. Yeah. When we got there and we bonded as a group, and we bonded very quickly, I realized that it became a joint mission. And it was very interesting how that changed very quickly. What was your initial mission for going? Would you say you had one? So I had a few things. I just wanted to get gift to the top of the world, and that was one. And also just to have people. For me personally, I wanted to. I think I've mentioned in a previous episode that I don't have the strongest body, so I wanted to prove to myself I could do something that I'm not normally good at, which is walking. So that was my mission. But I remember one of the guys saying when we summited, and he was so proud, and he said, we got to the top because we were true to our mission and our collective mission. And that really was the case.
What would you say the running theme of the mission was for all of you, the collective mission? What did it feel like?
It became very quickly a very interesting thing of, the mountain levels you very quickly. The ego goes quick. Like within one day, it's very interesting how that happens. And then it's about helping others. You're not going to get up there by yourself.
Right.
You're just not. So there was all the time, there's this need for, someone says, I need more sunscreen. Oh, does anyone have a snack? Oh, yeah, my water's run out. Every person was offering help, and I struggled up day 2. I'll be honest, if I wasn't the leader of the group or the head of the group, whatever you want to call it, I probably would have bailed that day.
Day 2?
Day 2.
How many days was the whole trip?
It's 7 days, 5 up and 2 down.
Wow.
1.5 down, really. And but the day 2 is the longest. It's about, I think I did 35,000 steps, something like that, or something close to that. 12 hours of walking, and I was sick. So most of the day I was sick. But people helped me through. And weirdly, the higher you get up there, for me and many others, there was this emotional outpouring, and you don't know where.
Did you cry, Rabbi?
I cried more than once. And
did everyone cry?
I think a lot of people, I can't speak for everyone on the trip, but I think quite a lot of people did. And even walking up, and I was walking in front of someone, and behind me a guy was sobbing for nearly 2 hours, like proper sobbing. And I turned around, and eventually I was like, "Are you okay?" And he said, "I haven't cried since I'm like 8 years old."
Oh. And to end off, what was one thing you wish you would have had with you on the mountain that you didn't take with you, that you just felt like, I wish I had that?
My family.
Yuck. I was expecting something a bit trivial and
no, I'm
that's very sweet.
I don't really need much. You know what I will say? I needed feet warmers. My
Right.
feet were freezing. And
was it really cold?
It's at the top. It's real cold. It's about -10 at the top.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't do it because they had said, just don't do anything you haven't done the whole week. So I hadn't had feet warmers, so I
Right.
didn't want to change stuff up. I was so nervous. So I just said, no, I'm not changing it up. But in hindsight, I think two feet warmers
There you have it, guys. Feet warmers and kindness.
getting feet warmed while you're doing kindness.
And I'll be in the safari chilling in the hotel.
We'll see you on that mountain soon. I'm going to hold you to it, Shira. You heard it first. Shira will be coming on that mountain next year.
Maybe.
We've been given a agreement. But until then, keep doing good things.
Give's mission is to inspire and enable lifelong giving. Subscribe to Gift of the Gab podcast wherever you get your podcast from. And feel free to drop us a note at podcast@jgift.org if you have any comments or any suggestions of what we should be talking about in future. And of course, check us out on social media @Gift Charity for ways to get involved.